I went crazy. I don't know much about the game. But I watch it because my son's on it. So before when he missed the first goal, I said to my husband, I thought he was a defender. Can he score? My husband's looking at me and says, of course he can score. I'm like, okay, well, I better start praying that he scores a goal because he just missed one. And then a few minutes later, he actually scored and I started screaming. We have friends in the house and I'm screaming, and then we ran down the street screaming. It was weird. It was crazy. Neighbors were coming out and saying, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, my son just scored for Canada, his first goal. And yeah, the whole of my community knew about it.
Yeah, so my first question is, walking away from this qualifying period or this last group of games, 9 points out of 9, how are you feeling?
I'm very happy that another win, and another step closer to the dream in Qatar. I'm very happy. I went to bed on a high yesterday. I was like, this team is unbelievable. We are really this is like the first time in years that you can truly say soccer is on the minds of Canadians.
You're very right. The viewership numbers have been incredible.
Yes.
And a lot of people that don't normally watch soccer are texting me about the game, and they're not just catching the highlights, they're watching the game live.
Yes.
So it's fantastic.
Which is great to have that support behind our boys, and it just really it brings the nations together. I mean, sport does that. It brings a nation together. So it's great that, a group of young, amazing players can do that, can unite a nation.
And I mean, if this is how united of a nation we are now, I'm just, hoping that we get to the actual tournament just to see, how crazy we can go. And maybe when things open up more, we can have, parades in the streets and stuff like that, like for the Raptors or the Leafs.
I really hope we do. I really hope we do, because this team, as they've worked tremendously hard over the years to get this far, and it will be, I mean, I have faith, and I truly believe we'll make it all the way. And it would be nice that the nation recognizes them and they can just do a tour, just like the women's team did across the nation. And because there's a lot of young kids that are playing soccer that this is like a dream come true for them. This is their own dreams for their own future. So it would be nice for them to connect with these players.
Yeah, and there's so many inspirational players and stories on the team for them to look up to. And I want to ask you about that kind of stuff later, but first I want to ask, what a way for your son to get his first goal on Sunday, freezing cold temperatures in front of a crazy crowd against the United States to solidify the win. I'm sure you went crazy during that goal, eh?
I went crazy. I don't know much about the game, but I watch it because my son's on it. So before when he missed the first goal, I said to my husband, I thought he was a defender. Can he score? My husband's looking at me and says, of course he can score. I'm like, okay, well, I better start praying that he scores a goal because he just missed one. And then a few minutes later, he actually scored and I started screaming. We have friends in the house and I'm screaming, and then we ran down the street screaming. It was weird. It was crazy. Neighbors were coming out and saying, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, my son just scored for Canada, his first goal. And yeah, the whole of my community knew about it.
Wow.
Because we ran down the street screaming, goal, goal, goal.
I thought we were just, sitting back and waiting the game out, waiting for the final whistle.
1-0, right?
For him to like I think it shows just how confident he's playing right now. He's playing incredible, and it's really good to see him in the starting lineup each and every game. He's been a exponential rise to where he is now.
Yeah, he has worked, tremendously hard over the years. I mean, one thing I believe, like, there's no such thing as overnight success. It's years of build-up, years of commitment, tenacity, just growth. And he has done that. He's proven that, he's worth being part of the, the starting 11. He's worked himself up. He's gotten his mind in the right place, his physique, everything. And he deserved it, and he has proved it over and over again. And to get that ice cap goal, as they're calling it, yes, that was the icing on the cake to show that, wow, this has all been worth it. And that really just speaks to a lot of young people that are aspiring for that you just keep working and it will all pan out in the end.
Yeah, so I want to give you some time for maybe people that don't know about you and your family. How did Sam first get into soccer?
Sam, we used to live in Manchester, England. We're from England, so this is in our blood, and Sam started playing soccer from when he was 4 years old, 4 years old, him and his brother. And we lived next to the Manchester City Stadium. I see that. In my house is divided. I have a Man City, Man United, and Arsenal.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. We're very divided in our homes when it comes to the clubs we support. I just support whoever's losing. So, Sam has been playing for, he started out playing for in the community, and then the Manchester City, Little League, just like the Tim Hortons Little League here. And, he started supporting Manchester City because one of my husband's friends took him to a game, and then from there, he just kept on going. And we have a trophy from when he was like, 6, 7 years old, when they won the local championship for the community, for the game in the community, the team that he played for back then. And him and his brother have always, loved the game. My husband is a coach. He used to be a player. My brother-in-law used to play. My dad is, and he's a great Nigerian soccer fan, #1 fan. He still travels as part of the, supporters club for Nigeria. Anywhere Nigeria plays, my dad is there. So soccer is in our blood, and so Sam and Elijah, grew up playing soccer. And so when we moved to Canada, when Sam was 9, 10 years old, we were looking for a club for him to play. And one of my husband's friend, said, oh, he should, come try out for a particular, club. He did. And from there, they just took him in, worked with him. And, that's where he's, that's how he rose and to what we have today. So he's been playing since he was like 4 years old.
And what made you guys want to move to Canada from England if he's playing soccer and you're?
Well, we're a missionary family, so we came with the church to Canada. And we actually promised the children, we promised the boys, our 2 older boys, and then we have 3 younger girls, that when we moved to Canada, we would find a club, they would continue their passion, and we would support them all the way. So that was a way to get them to agree to fly, moving and relocating from England to Canada. And we fulfilled that promise. The first thing we did when we moved here, apart from establishing the church, was to make sure that they found a club that they could play for.
I want to ask you about your presence on social media. You receive a lot of attention on Twitter and Instagram. I just want to know, like, when did that start? When did you decide to start posting videos and stuff?
I joined social media when I was trying to track my boys down, because Sam got signed when he was 15 years old with the Vancouver Whitecaps. And so I never knew where he was or what he was doing, what game he was playing, or where, you know, and when he started traveling and playing at different countries, it was just a way for me to find out, you know, what was going on. And so I signed up for Twitter to be able to follow his progress and follow him. And then I started commenting and just like, you know, posting about my, you know, my kids. Like I said, I don't know too much about the game technically, but I follow my kids and I support my children. And so my Twitter is only about, you know, about my kids and their soccer. So there's never anything else when they're not playing. So, and just really supporting them and connecting with the whole social media world.
And how do they feel about their mom being so active on social media?
They were like, Mom, please get off social media. Well, I had to learn how to do hashtag, and I had to learn all these things. I was like, teach me how to hashtag, teach me how to search, how to tweet. They were like, no, Mom, get off social media, get off social media. Don't pay attention to social media. Don't get involved, you know. And sometimes if somebody says something bad, I would be like, don't talk about my son like that. And so I've learned to just keep it positive and not defend them on social media.
Well, they must be happy now that you're kind of a star. I mean, your last video got a couple of thousand likes I saw on Twitter.
I never know how to look those things up. I'm not that advanced. I just post and then, you know, I never know. I'm still learning. I'm still asking them, how do I do this? How do I do this? And if I don't know how to do something, I just Google it. You know? So, but I am proud of them. And you know, because they work so hard and because I am a very proud mom, you know, I make sure the whole world knows how proud I am of my kids. I mean, it's great. I'm like, you know, I mean, I only do it when I have time. I do have a full-time job. I run my own business, and, you know, as ministers, we have a church and everything. But you know, night times, I do try to go through and see, where are they now in the world? You know, what are they doing? What are people saying? It was really just to monitor my kids and to see how they're doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why my mom's on social media too.
Isn't that why most of us parents are on it?
Yeah. I have an account that I let her follow where I post, you know, my work, and then I have a separate account for my friends. And I said, Mom, you can't see me on there. That's.
I hope my kids are not like that. I hope, you know, I mean, I think, you know, I trust them and I think they trust me, and I accept them for who they are on social media, you know. And I respect their views and what they do. And I support them, whatever they're doing. You know, that's my job.
Well, I was looking at Sam's Instagram the other day. He's got pictures with Drake and some good stuff on there. So, I mean, yeah, has he told you about when he met Drake? I mean, I think the whole team met him. That was a crazy moment.
I think it was a few of them. It was when we were in Toronto for the game. It was after the game that, you know, they had the opportunity, a few of them had the opportunity to go meet him. And he was like, Mom, I met Drake. First of all, I was like, Drake? Then I remembered that he's the rap artist. You know? I was like, oh, wow, that's good. Yeah, how was that? And he was like, it was pretty cool. He was nice and he was very friendly. And I'm like, okay, good. But it was immediately after the game. So I think they were still tired, and, you know, it wasn't for a very long time. And I think it was just a meet and greet or something like that. But he was like, Mom, it was nice, you know. It was nice to meet a celebrity and to have a picture taken and to, you know, have a conversation with him. Like, good. And he said it was normal, so which is great.
I wanted to ask a bit about the work Sam does with Kids Sport. It's an organization I'm familiar with. We did some work with them in our classes. And I just think it's such a great cause. So what inspired him to, you know, start doing that work, and what does he get up to with Kids Sport?
Well, you know, when Sam was younger, again, because, you know, we're ministers, we don't have a lot of finances, and we have 5 children doing 5 different activities. Activities are expensive, you know, extracurricular activities. So Kids Sport, you know, one of the parents with the team that Sam was on back then, actually introduced us to Kids Sport as a way to get financial aid for Sam when he was younger, and they actually, supported us financially and helped him with his, to be able to pursue his love of soccer. And so he wasn't aware of it because, I mean, this is just something that parents do behind their kids. They don't want their kids to know that we can't afford to pay for them to play a game. But years later, we made him aware of it, that when he joined the Whitecaps, we made him aware that you are here, you are where you are today, thanks to a number of individuals and organizations that supported you behind closed doors. And one of them was kids sports. And we told him that, you need to, we are a family that gives back. We believe in paying it forward and supporting the community. And, we told him that, find a way to pay it forward and support other kids that love the game. And that's what he did. He became, I think he reached out to kids sports, or they reached out to him, and he became an ambassador for them. And we actually reminded them that you guys helped him, at some point when he was young and he was starting out. And so now he does what he can wherever he is to raise awareness about kids sports and what they do and how others can get involved. So he's a spokesperson for them. We're very happy. We're very happy to support him and support kids sport.
Wow, he seems like a terrific young man, and he's a terrific athlete, and you must be a very proud mother.
I am. He's the first, the oldest of five kids, and he sets really good examples for his siblings. He leads them. If they want to do anything, they have to get permission from him first. So he's a really good role model off and on the pitch, and even at home. He's an amazing kid, and I'm so proud to be his mom and to shout it out from the rooftop how amazing my son is. And I'm not just making that up.